Getting NSPIRE. Duh. Today we're going to talk about changing the settings. A couple different ways you can do that. Let's first open up a new document. We'll go to calculator. Typically when people change their settings, or why they would go to change their settings, is because they want to switch from radian to degree or vice versa. Now, you can always tell which setting you're currently in by just looking up here and see it says rad for radian or just say deg for degree. One way to change that back and forth is there's a little, you can see it right in there. It's the settings icon right behind the battery setting. So if you swipe the touchpad, that will give you your cursor, so you can go up and click on that. You'll get a little drop-down menu, and the second one is your document settings, and there's your angle. You can then change to degree, stay away from gradient, and that's pretty much how you do that. And then you'd hit OK to make that. If you want to change that. Other things that are in here, I wouldn't mess with the display digits. I'd keep that on float. You start switching that, it'll only give you a set number of decimal places, or it might even, if you put it into like for fixed, and if you put it into float, like float 3, it's going to give it to you in scientific notation. You don't want to mess with that. I would just leave it as this plain old float like that. And then the rest of these things, I would just leave them currently as they are, and then hit OK to get out of there. Just another quick way to get the settings. You can actually just go back to your home screen. There's settings right there. There are other ways too to get to settings, but 2 I think is enough for now. So let's go back to our current document. Now let's say you wanted to figure out what you're in radians. All right, so let's look at what you might come across. Let's say you want to do 30 degrees. All right, so you do sine of 30, and hit enter. Now notice something. It just gives you sine of 30 back. And you're like, how is that helpful? That's not what I wanted. Well, because that's an exact form in radians. So we want to figure out what that is in this approximation. You would hit Control Enter. But again, that's in radians. Now, if you want that in degrees, sure, you could go into settings and you could change your settings into degrees, but there's a faster way. You could just do sine of 30, and now over here in pi land, you click on the pi, and there's a little degree symbol right there, and there is sine of 30 degrees, which is really nice. You'll notice also in this little pi home, you also have a little R there. That's for radians. So if you're in degree mode and you want to figure out what the sine of like pi over 6 radians is, you would just hit that little R afterwards, and that would put it into radians for you. Very nice. The one thing you do have to watch out for, though, is when you do inverse trig. So if you do something like arcsine of 1/2, you're in radian mode. So when you hit enter, that's going to put it in as pi over 6. So it puts it in radians for you. So you have to convert it yourself or switch this over into degrees. And that is pretty much it for today. Guess it's time to go feed the dog. Bye.